Hi there, Becky here from 168 Fitness. September is here and it is one of my favourite times of the year. Similar to January, I feel like everyone kind of gets back on the same wavelength as myself and wants to be doing exercise regularly, get back into routine, be achieving some kind of fitness, health, weight loss, whatever goals you're looking to achieve. And so it's just a really good time. Everyone seems a little bit more motivated. So I do really like that. It makes my life a lot easier, trying to convince people to come to classes, do PT, etc. So I'm here to help you if you're in that same mindset that you're getting back to routine post holidays, kids are back at school, weather's changing a little bit, so maybe we're just thinking like we need to be able to fit in our favourite pair of jeans again, things like that. So I'm here to help you with those goals and I want to get you motivated and excited to achieve them. So first things first, week one, what I would want you to do is to set some goals. So they can be fitness goals, they can be weight loss goals, toning, dress sizes. They can just be about feeling more energized, getting back into a routine. If you used to be doing some exercise on the regular basis and you've kind of let that fall by the wayside over summer, fear not. The goal can be just to get back into it, get those happy hormones feeling as happy hormones circulating and feeling good again. That's what we're all about in September. So this week is all about setting your goals and then coming up with a plan of action. Now that plan of action will vary according to what your goals are, but if we just talk kind of generally about a fitness goal, then of course in terms of achieving a fitness goal, feeling fitter generally means sort of cardio, not feeling so out of breath, not feeling so tired, just feeling generally fitter. That tends to be sort of a cardio kind of fitness. Then we need to be doing some form of exercise, and cardio is obviously going to be good to achieve that kind of fitness every day, sort of being able to cope with daily demands and just the body feeling fitter and stronger as well. That can be another thing. So exercise is going to help you to achieve that. So your plan of action might be that you find a new exercise class. Obviously bounce is there as an option. Might be that you need a personal trainer, again an option if you're local to Leicestershire. It might be that you want to join the gym. It might be that you start swimming, cycling, any other classes, any other exercise. Maybe you want to start running. Sometimes this is a good time of year to start running because the weather's a little bit cooler, but then also we are going into sort of darker mornings, darker evenings, so you've got to think whether or not that's the right thing for you or not. So first of all, setting your goals. So if it's fitness, we want to be doing some kind of exercise. You need to come up with that plan of what exercise, when you're going to be able to do it, how much is it going to cost, can you commit to it, can you put that time and money aside for it, and just get those things in place so that then you can be getting straight on with it as soon as possible in September. If your goals are sort of weight loss, then you're going to be needing to do some kind of exercise and activity to burn some calories, but you're also going to need to look at your food and nutrition and your food intake, calorie intake in particular, so that you're creating that calorie deficit so that you can lose weight. So that might be something that you do. I always recommend MyFitnessPal as a first step for tracking your food intake and your calorie intake as well. So that might be something that you look at doing for your plan of action as well as the exercise. If your goals are more sort of health, then that's going to be maybe some walking, activity, exercise. I was going to suggest maybe even starting with some walking. That's going to boost your mental health and well-being and also your physical health as well. So just coming up with those goals and then also how you're going to achieve them. And if you need any extra help with that plan of action, that's where I come in, whether it's personal training, whether it's coming along to the classes, or whether it's just asking me a question, what's the best way to achieve X goal? I'm happy to help. So that's your first step, is to set your goals and then come up with a plan for achieving them over the next few weeks. And then step 2 of what to do is to actually put that plan into place. So depending on what your goals are, what the plan is that you came up with for achieving them, then the second thing I want you to do is to take that first step, whatever it is that you said you were going to do to help you achieve those goals, I want you to get into that and start actually taking steps forward to achieving your goals. And the sooner you can do that, the better. It shouldn't necessarily take you a week to get going, but sometimes if you book in a class or something, it's the next week, so you have permission to sort of delay until that time that you can get started. But of course, you could always be going out for a walk, you could be looking at kind of what you're eating and drinking and making changes, things like that. Yeah, taking that first step. Now that's going to probably be one of the hardest steps of all, is actually taking that first step. So try and just make it as small, realistic, manageable as possible, and just get on with it. Get that first step out the way so that you can then take the next step, and that will suddenly become much easier and more manageable the more you do it. So that's my the next step for you. Step 2 is to take that first step, really the most important part. And then step 3, we're going to take the next step. So if you were looking at, maybe your first step was to start some form of exercise, then this week you might be able to, well, hopefully be able to keep on with your newfound exercise routine, or just resuming what you were doing before. And then this week we can be taking the next step, and that's doing something additional to that exercise. Doesn't need to be more exercise, it can be, but it could be something completely different. So it could be that you're looking at your nutrition this week, and what food and energy you're putting in your body, whether or not you need to use MyFitnessPal as a tracker for what you're consuming. Or it might be that you just can think about it yourself, that you're cutting out some of the snacks or swapping some of those unhealthier snacks maybe for some healthier options. Maybe it's that you're looking at your portion sizes and you're just reducing that to sort of reduce your calorie intake. So it could be that you look at nutrition as your next step. Your next step could also be that getting a better sleep routine, so getting to bed on time, so that then you can get up the next morning and feel a little bit more energized, and not always so tired. Or it could be that you're looking at increasing your water intake as well, so that you're not so thirsty and thinking that you're hungry all the time. So there can be quite a few different things, different steps, but the key thing is not to try and do too much and not try and do all of those things at once. Sometimes I have to put the brakes on for clients and actually say to them, steady on, just do one thing at a time and do that really well. Make sure that's concreted in, that you can do that week in, week out, and be consistent, and then add in the next thing and then the next thing after that. So that would be my advice. So step 2 is to just try and add in that next small step forward to achieving your goals, but also being consistent with what you've done in the first week as well. And then step 3, so we've got our goals, we've got our plan of action. Hopefully we've taken at least 1 or 2 steps forward to achieving those goals at this point, achieving the goals that you set at the beginning. So the step 3, what you would do next is to take another small step forward, but also being consistent. So the key thing here is you've got to be consistent with what you've already started, because it's going to take, I usually say, between sort of 4 and 6 weeks to actually feel the benefits, maybe even notice some difference when you look at yourself in the mirror, if it's a physical change that you're after. If it's more sort of a psychological change, then those can happen a little bit quicker, but you're going to have to be consistent with your progress and your input and what you've been doing. I need you to be consistent with that and keep doing what you've started out with in order to achieve your goals. So this next step is to keep doing what you've been doing, but then add in that extra element. So we talked about a few things. We've talked about exercise, nutrition, maybe your sleep, maybe your hydration. It could be that you need to be planning better. It maybe needs to be that you sit down on a Sunday evening and plan out your week so that your time management is better. It could be that you need to get someone, accountability buddy on board. That could be the next step, that you recruit someone, whether it's a family member or a friend or a colleague, whoever, that you get someone on board to help you. But that small next step in order to help you achieve your goals, they're really important. I can't stress enough how much small but manageable is going to really help. So sometimes people talk about those 1% improvements every week. They really do compound. If you keep with that 1% improvements and keep doing it and keep being consistent, they will make some really big impacts in the future. So then the next step after that would be to just keep doing what you're doing. You may want to, at some point after about 4 to 6 weeks, evaluate your progress. How well have you stuck to that plan of action? Has it evolved? Have you added more things in? Have you been consistent with those things that you have added in? If you have, then fantastic. Keep going, keep hopefully feeling those benefits of putting that input in. If you haven't been so consistent, or a bit late getting started and it's kind of a little bit fallen off track, then how can you get back on track? What maybe needs to change in order to get that plan of action in place again and be consistent and be putting in that effort each week? It may be that you've had great ideas of getting up early in the morning to do a 6:30 class or PT session or go out for a run, and actually you've remembered that you're not really a morning person, and that's okay, but you're going to have to put the time aside in the evening perhaps, or making time on your lunch break or whatever you can do. You've got to be realistic with it. If you're not a morning person, you're not going to want to get up and do that. You've either got to persevere and try and get up in the morning and really make that part of your routine. It can be done, but if you don't love it initially, I would say try and look for another way to do it. Or you might have signed up for something and it's just not working out with your schedule, and that's okay too. Just you're going to have to look for something else to do instead. Maybe you've started some kind of diet plan, which is fine. You want to be sort of maybe thinking about, is that the right plan for you if you're not sticking to it? Obviously there's lots of kind of fad diets around. Some of those will work if you do them longer term, but if you're finding that you're not really sticking to them after even a week or so, then it's probably not the right plan for you. And obviously I can help if you do actually want some advice on that specifically, but yeah, it might be that you just need to readdress kind of what plan of action you're going to input in order to achieve your goals. But really keep with it. Keep working at it. I promise you, if you do, you are going to feel the benefits. 4 to 6 weeks. Give it time. Keep going with it. Get into October as well before you start thinking it's not working. Because it actually, if you are doing the hard work perhaps, or you are doing that, putting that input in some form or another, and you are being consistent, then it will be paying off. And if you're not sure, if you need any advice, then please do get in touch with me. I'm happy to help. But just keep with it. That's my main advice for you. Once you set those goals, set the plan of action, got started, just keep with it. And I promise you, September will be your fittest and strongest and healthiest and hopefully most energized and feeling good that you've felt for a long time. So getting you back into routine after the summer holidays and get you feeling good. So just let me know if you need any more advice, and I'll see you next time.